was thinking about what else to say to you guys, and I thought of something that I actually heard in a homeschooling convention. I think it was probably last year. It was, and I wish I'll put it in the thing below, who said it, but there was one of the presenters that was talking about puppy feet. Now, she wasn't talking about, well, she was talking about dogs, but she was talking about dogs to help us understand our children. And it was very fascinating because what she said was, have you ever seen a puppy with big, just like enormous puppy feet? And you can just tell that this puppy is going to grow up to be a magnificent dog. Or maybe it's got ears that come down to here, you know, like big floppy ears. Or maybe the tail is just a little too big and wagging and wagging and wagging. Okay? Now, we never hold it against our puppies for having feet that are too big or ears that are too long, because we know that those puppies are going to grow up to be majestic, lovely dogs. And their puppy feet will all of a sudden become stately, proud feet that hold them up and give them a good firm base. Our children are the same way. Okay, so maybe it's not their hands that are freakishly large. That would be kind of funny. But maybe it's their personalities. Maybe you have a kid that talks a lot. Like you're forever saying, hey, darling, can you please just take a breath and just give mommy's ears a break, right? Or maybe you've got a kid that moves and they're just always like, oh yeah, it's time to go. Let's do this thing. And, you know, like even when you're eating dinner, they're, you know, over there just doing this kind of thing, or kicking the table, or tapping their fork, or, you know, whatever. They're always moving, and you're just like, darling, can you just take a breath and just relax for a moment and let mommy think? Or maybe they are forever wanting to get into your kitchen and cook, and you're just like, mommy needs a break. Can you please just take a breath and not try to create something new for a moment? Right? The common denominator of all these different types of children, and so many more that I'm not going to take the time to define, is that they all have these parts of them that we don't understand and that we don't see yet in the adult they're going to become. But I can see, ever since I've had this concept explained to me, I can see in myself, my own childhood, and other people who I've seen grow up, my nieces and my nephews, and, you know, other children that I've seen grow. We all have our puppy feet. We all have these pieces of us that are big and awkward and clumsy, and they don't quite make sense, and they are obnoxious sometimes, and you know what I mean? But when we grow up to the full stature of the men and women that we are going to be, our puppy feet make sense. I have a lot of words. I'm sure I drove my parents crazy more than once trying to tell them my ideas, just like my firstborn now does with me. I also like to entertain and perform, not in a, well, sure, like at a fun show or a talent show. I have no qualms getting onto that stage and making a total goof of myself in front of our congregation. That's just something that I do. So that's something that I am. It's something that has been given to me. And now that I'm an adult, I'm so thankful because I can use it. It's my gift. It's a gift that I can give to other people. And I'm not saying that to my glory. I'm trying to use that just as an illustration of the things that are driving you crazy about your kids right now are the same way. They are cultivating their gifts, their things that are given to them on purpose that are going to make them who they are as a man or a woman, that is hopefully living their life for God and using their talents for Him. So as we are confined in close quarters still with our gorgeous little puppies, I encourage you to have patience and to have faith, and maybe even a tweak, maybe even a paradigm shift from being annoyed at those puppy feet to saying, you know what? How can I feed this puppy feet? How can I guide this puppy feet? How can I give this parameters and rules to make it work better? Maybe a timeline, maybe hey, you know what? Every day at 10 o'clock in the morning, we're gonna go into the kitchen and we're gonna make something. And some days that's gonna be really easy, like frying an egg. Other days it's gonna be, let's bake a cake. Let's, I don't know, make a souffle. I don't know, whatever. But it's cultivating it. It's bringing that to a place where both of you are working together, and the kid is gonna learn so much more, not only of how precious his puppy feet are, or her puppy feet are, but also how to use it. A gift that's not cultivated is wasted, right? It's just like a wild squirt gun that's just going off everywhere. But when it's cultivated, it can be something very, very precious. And who knows, maybe it's the thing that God has put into your child to be their job someday. Maybe you'll be homeschooling to the nth degree, making sure that your kid knows how to use their strengths and weaknesses, even if that doesn't end up being an entrepreneurial thing someday. Knowing someone's strengths and weaknesses is imperative in order to be useful as one of God's vessels. So I hope that this encourages you today. I hope that it finds you well and happy. And I hope that this encouragement brings you strength to go out and encourage other people in your life. All right, keep going.